It might be chilly out there this morning, but it is not stopping some people from reeling in some fun, going ice fishing. John Rutter is live this morning at the Cleveland Metroparks Lakefront Reservation. John, how's it going out there? Are you staying warm?
We are staying warm out here, Homo. We got the hand warmers inside the jacket. Definitely going to want to dress for the elements out here. But as you mentioned, ice fishing here at the Lakefront Reservation. I've been joined all morning by Mike Dirklick at the Cleveland Metroparks. All right, Mike, we got our hole drilled. We measured our ice. Tell us about what we're doing now as far as our setup. Our poles here, I noticed, are a little shorter than our traditional fishing pole that I'm accustomed to.
That's a great question, and there's a couple reasons for that. And I should preface this saying, if you just have a standard fishing rod, don't let that stop you from giving ice fishing a try. You can still use them. The advantages of a small rod like this is you don't have to cast far, first and foremost. You're fishing a hole that's generally right in front of you. And you're a lot more close to the business end of what's happening when you're only 3 feet away versus 6 or 7 feet away. Also, you'll see probably in the last segment, we have a little ice shelter here called the shanty.
Yeah.
There's limited space in those, so this rod fits in one of those. A bigger rod doesn't.
We were hiding out there to get warm in between the shows.
Yes,
very comfortable.
It seems like it worked. So a couple common setups that'll get you by most ice fishing in Cleveland Metroparks, whether you want to target stocked rainbow trout, steelhead trout, or even perch. This is just a short little medium light action ice fishing rod. But what's of note here is there's a tiny little called a jig. It's a little weighted, often colorful little kind of part where the hook is. And we have a couple of what are called wax worms on there, little frozen, well, they're now frozen, grubs that you can buy. You can buy at bait shops, even in local pet stores.
We also got some bait in here as well.
Yep. If you want to actually walk up and show the camera those, we have some emerald shiners. That's actually what's been producing really well today. We'll show you some of our catches a little later.
And then lastly, before we go, we got this little setup down here.
Yep.
We got about 30 seconds.
Yes, okay. This is a really cool little setup. It's classified as a tip-up in Ohio. You just let them sit, and I have a bell on here because when a fish pulls the bait,
that's when the excitement happens.
It sets the hook for you. How many times have we heard that little bell today?
Probably half a dozen times at least. It is very exciting when you hear it, Homo. We did have some hits. I mentioned that we have a surprise for you. We'll show you some of our catches here coming up in the last half hour.
We can't wait. John and I had a bet going this morning, so I think you might have won. We can't wait for your surprise. And Mama Rutter is watching. We measured the ice. It is 10 inches thick. You guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you, John and Mike. We appreciate you. Stay warm. We'll check in with you in half an hour for that surprise.